Hello, Lorren. Welcome to my award-winning primetime show.
Thank you very much, Margaret. Happy to be here.
Thank you. So Lorren is here to tell us about sales and purchase agreements. And if you ever want to have the key and know that you have that house, you need to get the sale and purchase agreement right the first time.
What people may not know in Bermuda, that any agreement to buy and sell land has to be evidenced in writing. The Conveyancing Act actually says that an agreement to buy and sell land has to be in writing. So people may say, well, why do I need a contract? I just shook somebody's hand. We agreed it as a gentleman's agreement. Well, the law in Bermuda doesn't work that way. Margaret, as you know, the normal process will be a buyer will go and look for a property. They see a property that they like, and they'll submit an offer to you, to the real estate agent. So once that offer is given to you, you submit that offer to the vendor. If the vendor accepts those conditions, then there is a draft sale and purchase agreement that is prepared, and it's sent to the vendor and to the purchaser. Normally, then they will instruct their attorneys to review that. The sale and purchase agreement will reflect the terms of the offer. So if the offer was subject to finance, there will be a subject to finance clause in the sale and purchase agreement. If the offer was subject to a structural survey, there will be a structural survey clause in the agreement. There'll be a boundary survey. And sometimes there are certain things particular to that particular property that may have to be addressed. If it's vacant possession, if it's with a sitting tenant. So all of these things will be recorded in the sale and purchase agreement. The sale and purchase agreements, as I alluded to earlier, will be distributed to the vendor's attorney and the purchaser's attorney. They will then review these conditions with the prospective parties. Purchase attorney with the purchaser, the vendor's attorney with the vendor. There's often what I call a little bit of tennis that goes along, which sometimes is annoying to other parties. So we will put forth certain conditions in the sale and purchase agreement. The vendor's attorney may accept them, they may not. So there's a little negotiation that goes on. Once all the terms are agreed, the agreement is what we call in gross, which is printed for signature. It's sent to the purchaser. He will sign it in the presence of his attorney. The deposit will be paid. It will be sent to the vendor. The vendor's attorney, the vendor will sign it. Once the contract is signed by the vendor and the purchaser and the deposit is paid, it will then go to the agent. The agent will sign it. And when they sign it and date it, we are now what we call in contract. And so now we have a legally binding sale and purchase agreement. There are certain timelines that have to be observed once you're in contract. The traditional transaction, it's 30 days from the date of the contract to closing that we have to complete the transaction. The reason that it's 30 days is because the purchaser's attorney submits what's called a Section 62 planning search. That is a letter to the Department of Planning to ask the Department of Planning to go to the property to see if there's been any unauthorized illegal development. The law says that the Department of Planning has 28 days in which to respond to the planning search. If the Department of Planning does not respond in 28 days, it is deemed that there are no planning violations. And so we traditionally have a 30-day close to allow the results of the planning search to come back. Now, one thing that can slow down a sale is if when we do a boundary survey, we find encroachments. Encroachments are where a neighbor has built a fence on your property, they've built a shed on your property, and that has to be removed prior to completion. A thorough sale and purchase agreement with good conditions can protect you during the course of a transaction. In case your financing falls through, the subject to financing clause can protect you because you can receive your deposit back if you don't receive financing. A structural survey clause can protect you because if the building is in a state of disrepair and it's going to cost a lot of money to repair, the structural survey clause can allow you to withdraw from the contract in certain conditions. The boundary survey imperative condition to make sure that there are no encroachments on the property and that you have a brand new deed plan for land title registration purposes on completion of the transaction. My name is Lorren Wilson. I'm a director at the law firm Cox Hallett Wilkinson. I'm head of the private client department. We deal with wills, estates, probates, trusts, commercial, residential transactions. We're an all-purpose law firm and we can service all of your needs.
I'm Margaret Young, Global Real Estate Advisor, Rego Sotheby's International Realty. Thank you for watching.